Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of This Would Have Helped Me, where I show you how to make things related to game dev, things that I figure out myself, and I think that they will help you. So the first thing we're gonna look at today is how to make cool ambient sounds. So the first thing you'll want to do is download Audacity from this website, in case you haven't already. Audacity is a very useful and versatile audio management tool. I'd recommend every single game developer out there to have it, because it's free and it's incredibly useful. I use it all the time. And the next thing you'll want to do is open it up and record yourself breathing into the microphone. That's what I did beforehand. You can listen to the results. Well, it's not really just breathing, it's all mouth sounds that you want to make, really. It doesn't really matter, you won't really hear them at the end. Now the next thing you want to do is select all, Ctrl A, and then go to Effect and Pulse Stretch. This is basically like changing, it's like changing the speed, except it makes the sound kind of flow together. It makes it more blurry in a way. I'll show you this with this pixel art image. Changing speed is basically as if you'd resize it with nearest neighbor. So this is kind of how change speed and change tempo look like, and pulse stretch is more like this. And now you have two factors here. You have stretch factor, which is how many times you want to elongate the length of the sound in total. So this is like here the stretch factor was 2 because I made it twice as large. And then time resolution, which is the blurriness. So the minimum is 0.000001. And this will hardly make any difference at all. But, well, I'll show you here in a fragment of my music how pulse stretch can affect the sound. So right now you can hear it's quite crisp. It's kind of, you can distinctly hear separate sounds. Now if I do some pulse stretching here, and if I don't change the stretch factor, it will stay the same length, but it will become kind of blurry. So you can hear the basic kind of sounds, but they're all kind of mushed together, and you can't hear them like separately. And pulse stretching can actually be very useful in many cases, not just in ambient sounds. So what we'll do is we'll pulse stretch, and I like to set it as 2.0 and maybe 2 here as well. And if they're still separated, then just Ctrl Z undo that and increase the stretch factor to 5 maybe. And there we go. I can hear it's kind of like a continuous line of sound. And then the final thing you want to do is change speed. Make it even slower. Something like 0.5. Make sure you change speed and not tempo, so you affect pitch as well, so you make it kind of darker. And finally, if you think it's too quiet, you can just affect amplify. And make it a bit louder. And there we go. Finally, go to File, Export, and export as whatever format you need. Make sure you don't save in Audacity, because, well, I very rarely do it, because it saves as an Audacity project. And that's not really what you want to do most of the time. You just want to export it to another audio file that you can put into your games. I used this method to create the ambient sounds for Nocturnion. Link in description, of course. And you can get really creative with these. These don't have to be just your mouth. For example, for this sound, I took my violin and did a harmonic on it. And then I increased the pitch even more, even though it was already quite high, and I pulse stretched it. So, just as I said, do whatever you want. Pulse stretch is your friend. And changing speed to slower or faster, or changing pitch. Be creative with it. Thank you for watching. This was episode 1 of This Would Have Helped Me.